Hey guys, I want to welcome everybody to the James Lugo Show. I think this is technically our fourth show. Let me get this started here so I can shut this down, and we are good. Okay, so I got it open in my window. Oh man, so I do want to thank everybody for coming out. And yeah, I have shorter hair, and I kind of have a white beard. And we have Elizabeth Narvaez. Say hey, Beth.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, that's our buddy Beth. So today's show is going to be very, very cool. It's so, for me anyway, today's show is so relevant to what's been going on with me. I've had a rough week or so. I broke a rib about 10 days ago. Can't make this stuff up. I have this thing called night terrors, and basically I wake up in these horrible dreams, and I see the dream in real life, and I'm kind of like in this half awake, half asleep state. And in the dream, my son was falling down a well next to the bed, so I dove across the bed, and as I dove across, my wife jerked up her knee because she was asleep, and all of a sudden I jumped on her, and she fractured my rib. So, it's been a challenge. January 15th, I broke my hand, so I was not able to work out for the better part, really, of 3 months. I could do some, like I could do the treadmill and a few simple things, but like I couldn't do anything that had to do with bouncing because the way it was set, it was so critical that it healed correctly. Especially also I'm a session guitar player, that if it would have slid down off of the bone, if the bone would have separated from the other half of the bone and slid down, that would have been operations pins. That would have been 6 months. So the doc is like, you can't do anything. Like,
oh, wow.
you can't even do push-ups. Like, he didn't want anything that had to do anything, like really that even accelerated my heart rate all that much.
Right.
He just wanted me to stay calm. So I went through that, and then it got better. And then I was like, so I was trying to break this 100 pounds with literally all I could do was walk on the treadmill. Jake says, hey, James Lugo World. So all I could do was walk on the treadmill. So I basically lost the last 30 pounds, pure diet, 100%, almost no working out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
James.
And then I'm hitting this thing where it's like, I'm going to break this, and I just want to start slamming the weights, and all of a sudden I get this vision of like what my body I want it to look like now, and
right,
and then the rib. Now I can't do anything. I can't even breathe. Like, so it kind of ended up migrating to my shoulder, and I went and got some physical therapy today. I'm feeling a lot better. But it all kind of culminated, like the last few days was like a lot of anger with that, and a lot of I think Elizabeth Narvaez called it stress eating. It wasn't really, for me, it wasn't really so much stress eating. It was anger eating. And my kids were just, they were so unruly and up in my Kool-Aid. And I've got, a bunch of high maintenance clients right now, and stage moms, and like everything just like coming down on me, and I just kind of went off the rails a little bit, on and off, for about 4 or 5 days. I had a few bad moments, and then I had what was today? Today's Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Like Saturday was rough, but Sunday was perfect. It was like I intermittent fasted. I stayed in my caloric zone. I did great.
Good.
And yesterday I got up and I was in so much pain. And I just was so mad, and I had a kind of not a good day eating. It wasn't terrible. It was just like eating too much. I picked a little bit. I'm eating freaking cashews, all this stuff that's not good for me when it comes to what I want to do with this.
Right.
And and we went to Cub Scouts last night, and all hell broke loose. I had to get my son's teeth pulled yesterday, and on our way to, I finally get them out of the house. They're dressed. We found the hat. We found the this. I've got the belt. They're not killing each other. We're moving towards the car, right? We got like 10 seconds to get to frickin' Cub Scouts. And Riker drops his 2 teeth that were pulled in the grass because he was bringing them to Cub Scouts to show his friend. So now I'm trying to find these teeth in like dusky, it's not, sun setting, and I'm looking in grass, and my littlest son would like not stop, like he's hoovering over me and kept walking over the area, and I'm like, stop walking on the area, I'm trying to find the teeth, man. Like, we got the tooth fairy, like there's a lot going on, right? So we get them loaded up in the car. They get to Cub Scouts. I'm like, everybody out Riker's side. As I open the door, both doors fly open. One of them hits the car next to me, and they both bone out. And that was
oh no!
And
that was it. You lost.
And I walked into Cub Scouts, and there was pizza.
Oh.
Now, Narvaez laughs because she knows. Like, I walk in there and there's pizza. Now, pizza's for the wolves and above. They're not for my son who's a tiger. So I look and I could see that there's a whole gang of kids that are older than my son and all their parents that are their parents, and they're all eating this pizza. But we're going to go out and we're planting, ferns, these funky little ferns, right? So I'm like, all right. So I'm out there, and it's like I'm trying to be a dad. I'm trying to plant these ferns, and all I'm thinking about is this pizza.
Yeah.
And then I make my way in there, and I walk in, and I'm like, I just needed to take a break. The kids were freaking me out. And then somebody's like, hey, you want a slice? I'm like, funny you should ask. And that's how it started.
Yeah.
And it ended about 2 hours later with me sitting in front of the freezer with the freezer door open with a gallon of chocolate ice cream and Oreo cookies. The only thing missing was there's no milk, and I just couldn't bring myself to drink half and half.
Right.
But
oh my gosh, that's too funny. That was like my week last week, I think.
Oh yeah, and I got done, and there was no way I wasn't gonna brush my teeth. Like the brushing the teeth was not gonna brush the pain away. It was like, now I wasn't mad at my kids. Now I was just mad at me.
Right.
And then, so finally they all go to bed, and I'm just like, I'm in hell right now. So I wake up this morning. My son wakes me up at like 5:30 in the morning, like asking me questions about like a TV show. And I felt it. I woke up with that feeling, when you drink like a half a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
So hungover. I had the sugar hangover from the ice cream and the cookies and the pizza and all the junk and the junk and the junk and the junk. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. But the good news is I am a skilled weight loss warrior.
Yes, you are.
What I did was I went into the bathroom and I seriously brushed my teeth and mouthwashed. I grabbed a gallon of water. I started slamming it. I put on my sauna suit and I went outside at like 6:30 this morning and I mowed my yard on an empty stomach. I said, we're starting this. We got to get cracking, man.
Absolutely.
I need to do something positive. I need to get on the right path. I need to burn a couple of calories. I need to sweat out some Oreos. And my day has been good. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with everybody because I've been in a very weird state of mind. And I watched a video today. I linked you in it. It's today's video of Possible Pat. Do you know who Possible Pat is?
I mean, I saw the video. I couldn't watch all of it.
If you ever, it's Possible Pat. His kind of fame with the weight loss thing was he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, He lost
Right.
350 pounds, and he lost most of it walking to Walmart. What he did was he was a bodyguard, and he worked for like Puff Daddy and, LeBron James. He was a big time bodyguard. 6'8",
Okay.
600 pounds. Like, it probably is frightening. He looked like a gangbanger with the rings and the beard and the thing and the this and the tats, and just
Right.
scary. He looked
Right.
like a house. It was one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen. And they were all at I think they were working with the Lakers at the time, and they were all in LA at a hotel partying, getting high, and somebody had an idea of, let's have a push-up contest. And when he said, when it got to me, I could not do one push-up. And he says everybody made fun of me, and he said I realized like I'm supposed to protect people and I can't even do a push-up. And he said,
Yeah.
I had this like awakening. He said, because he said, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to eat 3 meals a day. So first thing that he did was he took everything in his refrigerator and threw everything out. He completely stripped his house of everything. I think he had was water. And what he said was, I'm going to eat 3 meals a day, and I'm going to get 1 meal at a time from Walmart, and I'm going to bring it home. I'm going to eat it, and when it's done, I'm going to throw all the scraps out. And then my next meal, I'm going to go to Walmart, and I'm going to bring them 1 meal home. I'm going to eat it, throw it out, and then the third meal, I'm going to walk to Walmart. He walked to Walmart back and forth 3 times a day. It was a mile each way. So he basically started walking 6 miles a day, eating 3 meals a day, and only drinking water. And
Wow.
he's now entered his first bodybuilding competition. He's 6'8", 260, 280, and he's buff. I mean, but you watch if anybody's out there, look up Possible Pat, his episode that aired on 5/16/17. It was perfect, and it was exactly where I'm at, because he talked about his own, going through these moments, and I don't know where I'm going with this, but sometimes all you see, when you're on Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat, you're getting the highlight reel. You're just getting all the great moments. And you know what? Beth knows, and we're going to talk about this. Losing 100 pounds or losing she lost almost 80 now. There's some not great moments. I don't think anybody goes from being morbidly obese to fit without a few scraped knees and a couple of bonehead moves and a couple of wrong turns, and
Right.
So I guess that's what I'm just saying, is that last night this is what happened to me. I probably ate 3,000 calories just last night. And it was ice cream, cookies, pizza, chocolate. They had those little Hershey's thing. Oh, it was just like, the devil had designed my evening. I'm walking in ready to kill my kids, and there's Little Caesar's pizza, and it's pepperoni with sausage. Might I add, my favorite. So anyway, but the good news is that we get some chops when you stick at this long enough, and you can get through this, and it's not the end of the world, Lugo. Don't go freaking crazy. That you can end it, and you can just breathe easy and get your act together. And today was like, my goal today was to fast till lunchtime and stay under 2,000 calories. It wasn't like I'm trying to do some big intermittent fast and I'm going to do 1,500 calories. I'm going to run 9 miles. No. I just need to come down off of the trip that I was on. And today I fasted till 1 o'clock. I did 1,785 calories, and I mowed the yard in a sweatsuit on an empty stomach. And I've drank about a gallon of water, and I didn't kill my kids. Victory.
Well, that's always a plus.
So with that kind of intro, Beth Narvaez has two kids, same age as me. She's going through the same thing. She's got all her stuff and changing gyms, and she's
Yep.
got all the stuff going on. And she said to me the other day, I can say this, we're friends. She said, "Oh, I'm having one of those rough days. I'm stress eating." So now, Beth, it's your turn.
Yeah.
What is stress eating? What happens when Beth stress eats? Why does Beth stress eats? How do the
Sure.
kids compile, and how do you get out of it?
Absolutely. So, I'm the type of person that I don't do well with like any big changes, especially if the big changes are rapidly. So, the gym that I had been training at, I was there for about 9 months, and I had gotten to know a few people there, and developed friendships and stuff. And so, because of my quick leaving, it basically, in a sense, kind of like uprooted me mentally. I wasn't mentally prepared for that, because it was a good environment. And so after that happened, it kind of put me in a tailspin, because then I'm like, what does this mean? What's next? Like, where am I going? Like, I mean, I still had my clients, so coordinating with them and figuring out, how we were going to do workouts without me being, without me having an actual like home gym to put them in. And then of course taking care of my kids, when they get out of school and out of their park district programs, and there's chaoticness. So that, and then just trying to make sure that I'm trying to do everything that I need to do with my schedule, being a mom, being a trainer, being a wife, like all of that business. And so it, when I have my rough days, because they happen, it's very easy for the stress eating to occur. And so stress eating basically is like, you start to increase your calories without realizing it. And I'm like diligent with logging in my food on MyFitnessPal. So I'm logging in my food and I'm seeing like, okay, I'm increasing my calories. Not so bad. It like wasn't horrible, but like, when you're trying to be in a calorie deficit for such a long time with trying to lose weight, anytime you then jump up with your calories, even by like a couple hundred calories, that can even mess with you more mentally, because you know that you should be continuing to stay in a calorie deficit if you're wanting to lose more weight. So, so the stress eating started to happen because I felt like I was starting to lose control. And when you start to feel like you're losing control of, everyday life, then you're going to resort to something that is easy and fast. And so, yeah, last week I sat and ate a half a medium BLT pizza by myself. Like, I could have eaten the whole thing if I really wanted to.
Did you post it on Instagram, or you just posted salad?
Oh, no, because, for me, like, it's still kind of like I internalize it and then I feel guilty. So, there's shame that comes along with that. So no, I don't display that shame because it isn't, it is embarrassing. Nobody wants to say like, hey, I consumed twice as many calories in one day than what I really should have. And this is the food that I ate. This is the crap that I ate, because pizza has no actual nutritional value to it. No matter how many vegetables you throw on there, you still have a load of cheese and then, your bread. So as far as nutritional value, it's not really, it doesn't count, you can't count it as nutrition. No matter how much you want to convince yourself that there's nutrition in it, there's no nutrition in it. So, but yeah, I don't, when I have those days, like I have my small little like circle of people that I'll like text message or I'll call up and be like, yeah, this is what happened today. And then, you know, to add on to like, you know, stress of like, I guess in a sense, work, but then like you throw the kids in the mix. And my 5-year-old has a meltdown about every little thing. Last night was a meltdown over Pokemon trading cards that he left at export in the kids area. And my husband went to go find them, couldn't find them. So then it was just, you know, this constant 30-minute meltdown. So when we finally got home, I was like, okay, before I flip out, like, because I'm going to flip out on this kid, I'm going to lose my cool. Before that happens, I need to figure out a solution. So I told him, I said, all right, you have a piggy bank. We're going to open up that piggy bank. We're going to see how much is in there. Because if you really want more Pokemon cards, you're going to buy it yourself. So, you know, so that it, I mean, this is like 9 o'clock at night, James. Like, I'm not making this up. They're supposed to be in bed at 9 o'clock at night. And here we're like,
yeah, I don't know about, my kids are perfect. My kids are just totally perfect.
Right? We're sitting here counting pennies and quarters and nickels just to make this kid stop crying over Pokemon cards. And then, of course, we go there today and they're there, you know? Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And that's the kind of stuff that can basically put you right over the edge. And it can lead to kind of that binge eating, because when you start to stress eat, you're gonna reach for the chips, you're gonna reach for the pizza, you're gonna reach for the cookies, you're gonna reach for the ice cream, like, because that's just how it works. You know, it's the devil.
You know,
Devil's involved in that.
I've been studying this, and there's a guy, John Gabriel, talks about. He's a dude that's lost hundreds of pounds. But I think that ties into a stress response, because the thing is that the stress of your kid not going to bed and crying about some playing card, the body can't differentiate between you being chased by a crocodile. Like, the body reacts to stress the same way. And what it does is when there's a stressful situation, the body instinctively seeks out hyper-concentrated food.
Yeah.
Because that's the best that's the best thing to ensure our survival, you know, to carry on our DNA. You know, so now that for millions of years served us. You know, that instinct was fantastic. That's why we're here having a podcast, because our ancestors hunted down hyper-concentrated foods. Unfortunately, now our whole world is hyper-concentrated food. So when we start hunting it down, it just becomes a problem.
Yes. This is my husband, Tito.
Is that a Tito? A Narvaez?
Yeah. How's it going, man?
What's going on, man?
Not much. Sorry I'm late. I got out of work a little bit later than expected.
That's all right. Somebody's got to be making money around here, right? We're doing the fitness music thing. You know, we need a guy with a real job. So I was watching you do the 130s the other day.
Yeah, I was a new PR, and it's funny because I wasn't even looking to do a PR that day. I just kind of,
for anybody that doesn't know, it's personal record, right?
Yeah, PR, personal record. I just kind of thought, you know, I'm gonna try it and see what happens. And I was telling Beth, I was like, hey, film this just in case I can actually get it. And you know, I could only do 3 reps, but I was shooting for 4. But maybe in a couple of weeks I'll be able to do more.
That's fantastic. And Josh Caldwell's on. I think he was on the last time we were here, and he said, "Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up, Josh Caldwell?" So now he goes, "Is it Tino or Tito?"
Tito, like the Jackson.
Tito, yeah. Are you? You're on Cuban. Are you Puerto Rican or Cuban or something?
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican and mixture of Puerto Rican and Mexican. So people, whenever I tell people that, they're like, "What? Are you
Yeah,
serious?"
you can do rice and black beans or rice and refried beans. Either one of them's good with you. Yeah, I
Yeah, well,
grew
it's
up.
funny because people say that the two cultures don't really mix because they don't like each other. But yeah, it's funny.
You know, I mean, to the rest of the world, we're all brown. I'm Cuban. You know, my dad's name was Rafael Cisclo Lugo Torres. So yeah,
Okay,
it's a
cool.
full deal. But you got a really good Hispanic name there. All right, so let me ask you this, Tito. Now with Beth on this journey, have you lost weight, or you're just now into fitness?
So yeah, I was telling Beth, you know, I've lost. At first, I weighed about, when I first started my journey, I weighed about 245. I lost about 40 pounds, but then I started doing strength training, gained a lot of muscle. So right now I'm sitting at about 220. So although I've gained a lot of muscle and strength, I'm looking to cut right now. So it's just been a matter of building that foundation. I'm stronger than I've ever been in my life, which is pretty cool. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have that aesthetic look. To me, I'd be more satisfied with the aesthetics than the actual strength. So that's kind of where I'm at in my journey now. So Beth has been a huge inspiration for me, and it's just been crazy to see her take off, you know. So she's been a big support for my health. And at the end of the day, I think we're both doing it for our kids, not only ourselves, but mainly for our kids, so that they have a good example to follow.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't think that she would have progressed as fast and to the level without a good husband. I mean, seriously. I mean, my wife stood by me while I tried to kill myself with food. You know, I was useless for like the last 2 years. I mean, all I did was lay on the couch and watch TV and eat and be mad and you know, grumbling, go downstairs, work, make some money, come upstairs, you know, get pizza, and she stood by it, you know, and my wife's a bit of a foodie, health nut. You know, she works for a health food store and does yoga and kickboxing and, you know, and she's been a great support. So that's really good that, you know, you're cool like that, man. It's important.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Tito was the one who actually told me that I should get a trainer. And that was 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And at first I was very like hesitant because I had the mindset of I should be able to do this on my own. You know,
Yeah.
he's like, well, I know this guy, he's a former Marine and he's a trainer and you should just give him a chance for a little bit. And
it kind of just took off from there.
Took off.
So, you know, he was a good trainer, but things really took off when I think we started watching the Kino Body stuff, the Kino Body videos. I think that's when things really took off for us. Having a personal trainer was helpful at first, but for me, I felt like my strength has just increased exponentially since I started doing Kino Body, which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, before we watched Kino Body, there was a period where we weren't working with the trainer, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna cut out like all the processed foods as much as possible. And so we did that for a few months, and both of us lost significant amount of weight in that short amount of time. And then Tito came across the Kino Body, and it was so funny because like he was like, Beth, you got to check this out. And I was like, who is this young guy? Like, get him out of here, you know? Like, but as Tito continued to watch and stuff, I was like, this guy's onto something. You know, this Greg is onto something. And so like I jumped on around the same time that Tito decided to do the AFL, the Aggressive Fat Loss Program. And that's when I started to notice, like, you know, I was building muscle, and at the same time, like, the fat was just sliding off me so quick. And that was back in November and December. So, and then in January was when I decided to try the Goddess Toning program. And that's when I lost more body fat and gained more muscle mass. So,
yeah, I got, you know what I did? I you know, my progression has been 21 months, and you know, I went from kind of juicing vegan to paleo to keto, but I think right around my paleo thing was when I started watching all these YouTube podcasts. And there's one called it's Greg O'Gallagher and Nate Miyake, Guide to Intermittent Fasting. It's 1 hour and 6 minutes long. I know every single word of it. I've watched it 1,000 times. I've watched it every day, sometimes honestly almost all day, because it would help me to not eat. And I did that. And then today when I got up this morning, we had talked about our little stress eating episodes. Mr. Tito, you weren't here for that. You were out there hunting down the wildebeest, dragging it home. But we were here talking about it. And this morning when I got up and I mowed the yard on an empty stomach, I actually put that podcast on and listened to it in its entirety while I mowed the yard. But basically, I just started doing exactly what Greg and Nate said, and Christopher Walker said in that it was a Google Hangout just like this. And that's kind of what inspired me to want to do this, because I had this like moment of clarity where I realized, like, I don't know if that day when they were shooting this little Google Hangout, I don't know if they knew they were going to save my life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they knew. They don't know me. They didn't. I've talked to Nate Miyake a little bit and Christopher Walker. Greg doesn't seem to want to have anything to do with me, but whatever. I don't care. You know, it's cool. You get it. But
it's okay, James. He doesn't want anything to do with me either.
Yeah, he's kind of I don't know. He's getting so massacred online right now. It's almost it's like it's the most. And you know, don't get me started. But anyway. I like Greg. You know what I mean? My focus is on the positive. So we'll leave it at that.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, there's positives and negatives about anybody that you cross paths with, but you know, bottom line is, you know, Greg and his team definitely have developed some pretty amazing programs, and if you are consistent and stick with it, you will see the results. You know,
just what those guys talked about. I mean, and the thing is like, and the funny thing is that Greg and Nate break their fasts differently. Nate likes to break his fast, you know, like 1 or 2 o'clock with what he calls a paleo lunch, which is kind of like high fat, lower, you know, medium protein, low carb, basically a ketogenic lunch. And then he likes to have his big starchy meal late in the day. Greg's the opposite. Greg's like, he says, well, by the time I go to break my fast, I want to just eat. So then Greg eats big, and then he eats like under eats later in the day. And what's funny is I toggle between both of them. Like I really want to do it more the way Nate does it. Like and most days I do. Most days my lunch at 1 o'clock is like 2 hard-boiled eggs with a little Himalayan pink rock salt, a slice of cheese, a little piece of chicken, a handful of nuts. You know, it's that. And then at like 4 or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, it's the chicken and rice and beans with grilled veggies and steak or potatoes or whatever. And that's the Nate Miyake thing. But I'll be able to do that. And then especially if I'm training, then there just comes that day where by 1 o'clock I'm going to eat. I don't want to see a hard-boiled egg. Like, I'm ready to. So then in those days I kind of do it the way Greg does it. So and now I've got it down to such a science for what works for me. And the thing I've realized for myself is that I have the ability to fast beyond fast beyond my fasting ability.
Right.
And it gets me in trouble. If I fast too long, I suffer. Hold on one
Yeah,
second.
I fasted the other day.
Hold on 1 second, Teeter. Just hold on.
Sure.
Hey, Rob, is everything all right? Hold on. We have a dead body. Hold on.
The life of kids. That's what that is. Right?
Yeah. Here we go. Bring up water.
We're live, so people can see and hear.
See you guys. See this? Me stretching.
This isn't wine or champagne, sparkling water.
Oh, man. You just can't make this stuff up, kids.
No, you cannot.
Oh, so come here. Say hello to everybody. Just give them a second. Oh! Say,
Hey, buddy.
say, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
So what did you just do other in there? Be honest. Be honest. You're in front of a million people. What'd you do to your brother? You can't come clean. All right. Go in there. Kill each other.
What does that sound like?
Can't do it. So anyway.
That's funny.
Riker?
The life,
No.
the life of being parents.
Well,
You know, everybody says it's fun. It's fun, and
So-
then you immerse yourself into it, and then you're
Yeah,
like,
so-
wait,
so-
what?
between you guys, you each have 2 kids, so we'll count that as 2 kids. With what Tito's lost, what you lost, I've lost. We've lost like well over 200 pounds with
Yeah.
two kids each. So if there's anybody out there using, I can't lose weight because I'm a stay-at-home mom and it wrecked my body and blah blah blah. Or I'm in my 50s and that means that my testosterone is low and I can't do this. Man, I'm 53 years old, man. That junk is still working, baby. I got testosterone. Hey, so real quick, Josh Caldwell says Beth is an awesome resource. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
WWW Cruz says hello from California. So there we go.
Hello.
Yeah, we're going to try to stay alive here. These kids are killing each other in the other room. My friend is here, though. He'll keep the blood off the walls. All right, so Tito, before my kids were trying to kill each other, you were saying something.
Oh yeah. It's funny because the kids don't even faze me. I'm so used to kids interrupting me and just like screaming, and I tune it out. So no, but the other day I tried fasting for 24 hours. I think I posted something in the Kino Body group about it, but I felt good afterwards. I've read that there's health benefits to it, and I just wanted to try it to see how it would go. It's not something that I would do regularly or every week or anything like that. I just wanted to see if I could do it. I felt like at hour 23, it was pretty tough. Afterwards,
People sending me messages like every 5 minutes. I'm starving. When can you bring me food?
Once hour 23 hit, I was ready to call it quits. But it's funny because I'm used to doing the intermittent fasting, kind of like you. I'm back and forth. Like I can eat a big meal and then undereat, or vice versa, the other way that you were talking about. So, and it's just with my lifestyle, it fits pretty well to skip that first meal and then eat bigger, during lunch and a smaller dinner. But I think that one of the biggest problems is that I found is, I don't know, maybe it's just my personality, maybe it's just my habits. I tend to have an addictive personality. So once I find something that I like, then it's hard for me to have that discipline and stop. Whether it's having fun, like working out, or food. Especially food is so addictive. It's crazy. Thank God I never got into any illegal substances because I'd really be in trouble. But I think part of it is being able to have that discipline that lends itself to nutrition. And so when people say, oh, I don't have time for this, time for that, I think it kind of relates in that they need that stress reliever. And so when they say I don't have time, they're also saying I don't have time to decompress and do the things that help me reduce stress, in addition to that time to work out. But what has helped me with my personal habits is I've used working out as a way to decompress, to de-stress, and in a way I've kind of become used to and addicted to working out and that rush I feel when I'm working out. And I tell Beth when we work out, after I get done lifting weights, I'm like, man, it's such a rush. It feels so good to just push weight, especially if I'm hitting personal records, PRs. It's such a good feeling. So in addition to that, you're never going to find extra time. There's only, time is a commodity we can't get more of. So you have to just set aside time and devote your time to bettering yourself. And so one of the ways I mentally cope with it as well, with the whole kids thing and not feeling guilty about working out versus spending time with my kids is, I think about them when I'm working out. I do it for them because I think to myself, well, if I don't take care of my health, eventually I'm going to end up needing medical assistance, which is going to take away time from them while I'm at the doctor. It's going to take away money that I'm spending the doctors instead of using it for them. So in essence, when people say I don't have time, I think they're just kind of using that and not really looking at the big picture. They're looking at the small, immediate picture. So that's kind of how I cope with the whole time and kids and family aspects.
Yeah. Did you see that message, Beth, that Michelle Rosen is an old client of mine, and she posted up on something on one of the links for tonight's show, and she said, well, how am I going to work out if I have to work or whatever? And I don't know, she said something, I don't know, it was, and I mean, it's like, well, I don't know, man, go to bed earlier, get up early, work out in the morning. Some people, I mean, I can't work out after a full day of work. I'm better off just getting up and doing it, but find what works for you. You know what I mean? I don't know. Get an elliptical.
Well, Tito has a good idea of that because of his schedule and what he does. And like, he used to tell me the same thing when I would go in and train with my trainer. Like, I was like, why don't you come in for workouts? Oh, I'm too tired. I've been working all day.
Once I actually tried it though, I found that working out after work is actually a good stress reliever for me. So, I can work out for an hour and actually feel better and not feel so tired in the evening. But I've always been a night owl. I've always enjoyed doing things at night and being active. So it kind of just actually meshed together. I think I thought I would be too tired to work out, but it's a different sort of exertion. My job requires a lot of thinking and analyzing all day. So when I'm at the gym, I can just kind of like switch gears and I can just relieve that stress with physical exertion, and it actually feels good. I can work out in the morning too, and I'm trying to transition into that now. But I actually like working out after work. It's such a good stress.
I mean, that's the good news about this. I mean, I don't think that, and that's what they talk about in that podcast, with Nate Miyake. He's like, don't try to make what I do fit into your life. He says, take what I do as some ideas, but make it work with you. Like for me, I like
losing. Sorry, we're kind of losing you. Like, we can't really hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know if it's internet or
I don't know
exactly what. So we can see you, but we just can't hear you.
Okay. I mean,
fading in and out.
I think it seems like I'm sounding good on my end. It may be just the transmission to you, because I see myself fine and I see and hear you guys fine. And you can't hear me. I could talk smack about you guys now.
It's still cutting out, still flickering.
That's weird, because we're fine on my end. What do we do? I don't know. How about now?
Can you hear us, James?
I can hear you fine.
You can. Okay. Yeah, we.
All right, so just hold on. I'll talk, and then I'll tell you guys to go.
Okay.
So what I was saying was that, here, you know what, Beth? I'm calling you so you can kind of hear me as I talk, just so you kind of know where I'm at.
Good idea.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Can hear you.
I'm just going to put it here because I don't want to listen on the phone because I can hear you here. So, so what I was saying was based on kind of what Tito was saying was that, for him, he finds like after work is better. And for me, I'm more of like get up and get it going on. And then that's what they talk about. That's what Nate Miyake talks about in that podcast was that he said, don't try to make what I can hear my echo. Don't worry about it. Don't try to make my system work in your schedule. He says what you do is take what I do and kind of figure out a way to make it work for you. So, and that's why he said, like with Greg, he said the fact that at like 2 o'clock when you break that 18, 19 hour fast, you want your big meal, you want your starches, you want your rice and your beans or whatever. And he says, and that's great. And he says, for me, I'm the opposite. And he says, and that's great. It's not, so I think that's really, and that's what I love about this whole warrior diet, kind of flexible dieting. It's not so rigid. I found, along the way, I did so many things. I did paleo. I did, ketogenic. I tried to even be a vegan for about 20 minutes. I sucked at that. But, and nothing, it didn't address the problem. Eliminating this food or that food, that wasn't the problem for me. It was like, I don't know. It just, now I use a little bit of all of it. I've got elements of ketogenic. I like to eat ketogenic during the day and then, have my starch meal at night, which is kind of like the John Kiefer carb backloading thing. And then at the same time, I like to, do almost like more of a paleo thing at times. But then I have cheese, and I know that, like, I guess in paleo, cheese isn't cool or whatever. I don't know, man. Grok didn't have cheese. But anyway, so yeah, my thought too is that I think that there's going to come a time where I may be able to work out in the afternoon. And the main reason for me why I couldn't, I think because my health and my fitness was so bad that, like, once I would eat anything, it was like I was just shot. My best bet was to just get up and go to the gym. I lost a big chunk of this weight doing a thing out here called Hot Box, which is basically like heated cardio kickboxing. And I did the 9 a.m. class. I got up, took the kids to school, went straight to Hot Box, kicked the bag for an hour, came home, had my first coffee, and then try to wait till about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And I would sometimes do the Kino Body. I would do the apple to reglycogenate the liver, or I would do, the hard-boiled eggs and cheese, and that would be great. And then I would do that on Monday and then Tuesday, and then come Thursday by 1 o'clock, I'm like, this isn't happening anymore. I'm going to eat. And then I would have the full-on, anyway, I don't know what I'm saying, but I think that with me now starting to really do this weight training thing and dialing in my diet, that I may be able to do some more of that. I may be able to start to do some of that afternoon training because I won't be dead. Pass it on to you guys.
Yeah. So, one thing that I've noticed, because, I'm the type of person, so apparently I have ADD when it comes to workouts. I'm all over the place. I will do the strength training. I will do the cardio, I will go for a run. I will do circuit training. So what I've experienced so far is that when you're in cardio state, your body is going to need like more of the like carbohydrates. You can throw in your protein and your fats, but the first source of energy is carbohydrates. So being able to fuel up like before a run, what's been helping me has been like eating Greek yogurt, mixing it with whey protein, because the Greek yogurt has protein as well as the carbohydrates. And then like I'll throw in some almonds, and then like maybe like some strawberries, and that, I mean, I'm trying to do long runs here, and that ties me over a lot more than if I just have like oatmeal. But it's interesting because I also have had to play around with the nutrition based off of my workouts, because it was this weekend, it was on Sunday morning, I was like, I'm going to get up and go for a run. And Saturday, I ended up having, my last meal was at about 5 o'clock in the evening. And I had, like, we made burgers at home and homemade fries, thinking that I was going to be good for the run. And actually, like, it was horrible. It was horrible. Like, I was running basically on what felt like an empty stomach. So apparently my body had already, expended, used up those calories.
Toggling between like anaerobic working out and endurance working out, or is it kind of almost combined, like MMA kind of thing?
Sometimes it can be combined. So like for Sunday after my run, I ended up asking Tito to bring me the Greek yogurt, mixed with almonds and berries. So that way I was able to get the proper fuel to then be able to go to the gym and get some strength training in. So yeah, part of it is like endurance. Like I said, I kind of have this like ADD of like fitness. So, and it's being able to really like listen to your body and like the types of foods that you should be consuming. Because like with the burger, I didn't even have a bun, and bread usually like just, it just gets used up so quick. So, and that didn't happen. But then like if I would have gone in for strength training, like instead of going for that run with the type of food that I had on Saturday, I think I would have been actually just fine. So with strength training, for me, at least how my body works, like I need the protein and I need the fats versus the carbohydrates. But then with running and going longer distances, like I definitely need to make sure that it's clean eating and that it's all balanced, with all the macros. So at least that's what I've experienced. Everybody's body is different, I feel. So it's gonna vary. Like I've experienced days where I feel like I'm more so carb loading than anything. And then other days, like I'm like, man, I really need like high protein food.
Yeah.
So that's what I've experienced.
Cool, man. It's good that we're talking about this, because I'm about to really start lifting. I'm going to go in the morning and I'm going to go to the gym. I'm probably going to just do some legs with machines. I just still don't know about my rib, like where I'm at, but I think, like I can definitely do like even just leg extension, leg curls, scissors, calf raises, and maybe do the recumbent bike, just to kind of get the blood flowing. But I'm definitely ready to start doing this. So it's good that you guys are, I've never, through this journey, I haven't been overly concerned with macros other than honestly just watching my carb intake. You know, I mean, my macros are always kind of pretty good. I think I kind of have a good instinct for what I need. But you know, now it's like now I'm going to be, and my goal I think for right now is to start with, you know, with just some, you know, doing some nice big compound moves, fundamental moves for the first couple of months, get some mass and get some strength and get some balance. You know, I've been working on my posture. Being almost 300 pounds really does a number on your body. I mean, it's pretty bad. So, you know, like I've been studying. Do you know who Yo Elliott is? That strength trainer. He's a guy on YouTube. He's like a strength and conditioning coach. He's really cool. And he talks about like the number one exercise for kind of testing where your posture's at and where your strength and your thoracic, you know, setup is at. It is the one exercise that I'm not only am I so terrible at it, but it's one of the main reasons I quit doing CrossFit. And it was front squats. Because with CrossFit, like if you can't do front squats, hey, what's up, man? If you can't do front squats, you kind of can't do CrossFit because everything is a thruster, is a front, you know, everything's kind of been, you know, clean and jerk. It all kind of centers around this thing and this, you know, squatting with the, I could never get my elbows up. But now I started doing them and I can do them. And my thoracic, I think, is starting to, I had physical therapy for the broken rib today, and that's what I was telling her. And she showed me some exercises to try to get, you know, just, you know, 30 years of playing piano all day long when you're a voice teacher. Everything's forward, you know, you're on the phone, you're on the computer, you're on the, you know, you're on the piano, you're on the guitar, you know, you're doing this, you're doing the dishes. Everything's this story. So you just start to like, especially when you're fat, you rotate your shoulders to hide your body, you know, it kind of covers it over. So now all of a sudden, you know, you're like, hey, I got to stand up tall. Even though I don't have any game like that really right now, I've got to kind of act as though. I don't like your crazy kids, but they got some game back there.
That's real.
But I'd love to like, maybe one day kind of just if you guys, I can run down with you guys a little bit of what I'm doing and get your thoughts on it and your input. I mean, I've been following the AFL. I mean, I know Greg's thing, which is basically pull-ups, incline press, side laterals, you know, and overhead pressing. You know, it's all about the upper, which is funny that he does that because I used to be a personal trainer. I managed a health club for years. I grew up in the gym business, and I grew up around bodybuilders. You know, I mean, I'm like friends with Ronnie Coleman. Like, I was really integrated into that system for a long time. And my mentor and boss for a lot of years, that's what he used to always say. He used to say the most important exercises for the man is, first and foremost, incline press. Second is overhead pressing, side laterals, and chin-ups, because it builds this, so it gives you the taper. You know what I mean? And that's the Kino body. I don't know about his Warrior or Shredder Pro or any of that, but I know that that's like his thing. That's his jam. You know, is that stuff.
Yeah, just from my perspective, you know, you are really building up, you know, the upper body. On the programs, you know, you've been following Warrior Shred.
Yeah, you know what's weird about a bunch of these guys, they almost never they never video themselves with shorts. They're always in long pants. They're walking on Santa Monica Beach in the summer with long pants. And you know, and I think the thing is, and the Greg I saw in shorts, his legs are fine. I mean, they're athletic. They're not, but I think that's the thing, is that's the look, is to because the thinner legs look better when you're dressed up. You know, the actor look, more the Brad Pitt. Because you see these bodybuilders, once they start getting thighs, they look blocky. You know what I mean? They may look cool when they're posing, but like, you know, you put like a bodybuilder, you know, who's buff, fully buff, and you dress him, and he looks like a linebacker. You know, he starts to have that kind of, you know, you would not, with them basically dressed out, you wouldn't necessarily like equate them as athletes, you know, because they just look like big dudes. So
Right.
I don't know.
But I mean, yeah, like Tito and I, we were kind of talking about that the other day, you know, and I believe that it's important, not just for women, but for men to be able to develop their lower body, you know, equally. So, I mean, you don't necessarily need to have like massive, you know, quadriceps, you know, where you can't fit into like regular pants, but like, you know, like, I mean, it's important because everything's connected, you know, like our entire body is connected. And like the reason why strength training is so important is because you're protecting your bones. Like, so the more muscle mass you build, the more you're protecting your bones. And I mean, you kind of need your bones to like be mobile and you need muscle to be mobile as well. So, you know, like, you know, everybody's like, I don't know, their desire or whatever for body composition or how they want their body to look is going to be different. But, you know, you neglect one area of your body and you're doing a disservice to yourself, you know. So it's important to target all areas of the body. And like, you know, for you, James, because you've lost such a significant amount of weight, like, yeah, there is going to be postural distortion that is going to have to be corrected, you know, and that's where strength training is going to help you. But, you know, for me as a trainer, you know, I do see a lot of people like rounding their shoulders because most of them are sitting at desks and stuff. So yeah, I mean,
I feel like I'm doing it. Actually, as you said that, I was like, are my shoulders too round? All right, so go on, Beth. Continue to talk as I stand completely upright.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's being able, like, you know, it took me a really long time to like adjust to like this kind of posture, and it still does. I still have a tendency to kind of round my shoulders, which then creates an imbalance, and you know, we have issues with our thoracic spine. And so it's, you know, you want to be able to have a balance with your exercises and be able to do like body weight exercises. So like, you know, like one thing that I was telling Tito, I was like, you know, the cool thing about Kino Body is that, you know, like, yeah, you can like, you know, you can start like making some serious gains with like your strength, you know, on flat bench, incline bench, you know, even your deadlifts and your squats. So like basically all of your compound strength exercises. But then like, where's the calisthenics, you know? Like, I mean, Goddess Toning, we have push-ups, but they don't tell us to try to like progress or to try to do push-up variations.
I think I saw that Greg he's working on a calisthenics program.
Okay, well that's good. See, that's good. So because that's important, like you have to develop strength with body weight exercises before you can really even say, hey, I'm gonna jump on the squat rack and squat
I really want to
200 pounds.
learn. I really want to learn how to do the, what do you call it when you're on the full like
muscle ups.
Muscle ups. There you go.
I've been
That
trying
would be
to
really
work.
cool.
I've been trying to work on those.
That's a big CrossFit move. They love that in CrossFit, man.
It is. Yeah. So, but like, I mean, just going back to, you know, the basics, like, you know, working on push-ups, working on, you know, body weight squats, like, you know, a lot of different stretches are going to help with your spine, you know, making sure that you're in proper alignment. So, you know, it's good to it's good to be versatile in how you train. So like I feel just as strong like with the body weight exercises that I'm able to do as I, you know, as when I'm doing the goddess toning program and I'm lifting weights. So, you know, it's being able to be versatile. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Well, I think
in
for
all
me
of
right
this.
now, I've done most of this has been, for me, has been kind of body weight calisthenic-y because of boxing and kickboxing. That's pretty much the main exercise that I did to lose this weight. So, and that's not to say that I'm like really have mastered any of it. I've come a long way. Like I still cannot really do a lunge. You know, just years of being so overweight. But now my game plan right now is to just do fundamentals and not do any really emphasis on anything. Just, you know, just do, you know, deadlifts and squats and overhead pressing and incline and, you know, just fundamental stuff just to kind of build my body and get some strength and some balance.
Dad?
What?
I think I know one of what your goal is.
Oh, okay. You say he says he thinks he knows what's my goal.
One of your goals that you maybe have already accomplished was 100 pounds.
Give me a kiss. I lost 100 pounds. You know, this is a part of the you know, right? That what I was talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell everybody out there, how big was Daddy?
Really big?
Really big.
Like as big as Rob.
As big as Rob. Yeah, it's come a long way, man. It's what a journey, man. I had a 50-inch waist.
Wow. I mean, you've lost a significant amount. It's really inspiring. You know, it's a great example for so many people out there. I'm sure, you know, when people reach a certain level, they just feel so, you know, defeated. And even people who maybe aren't overweight, but who are just really small, you know, who need to gain muscle and maybe don't have the confidence too. I mean, it's a big inspiration. So keep going, man. I mean, you're doing awesome.
Well, you guys are inspiring me, and I've been watching you, Tito. You know, I mean, I met Beth first, but I've been watching you, and I've been watching your lifts, and I watched your silly little home workout with the kids the other night. Laughed at you,
Yeah.
but you know, you guys are doing good things. You know, I mean, I think that we have a greater purpose than what is. You know, we think it's all just about us, and then we realize, like, you know, yeah, we're gonna help people. We're gonna save lives, man. I mean, that's you know, and that's why I keep wanting Beth to be a part of everything. You know, I'm not big or anything. I've got a couple million views on this site, but that's because of being on American Idol. People know me as a you know, coach to the rock stars. But you know, it's like I really believe in what you guys are doing, man. We have a really strangely parallel universe with these Rugrats too.
Yeah.
Good Lord, man.
It's really cool because like even people, it's funny because I feel like everything's like full circle. I just had today one of the female lifters at the gym that I was working at, she actually watched some of my YouTube videos, and she messaged me and she's like, oh my gosh, like the remodeling yourself video basically brought me to tears, because she herself, you know, had gone through a tremendous weight loss journey, and you know, she transformed herself to now being like this, you know, power lifter who competes. And I should. You
should interview her on the show. She probably would be a good source.
Have her hit me up.
Yeah. So, because I mean, this is it's just crazy. Like, you don't even realize who you're having an effect on, and a positive effect at that. And then when it happens to be somebody who, like, I myself was like kind of like looking up to her, because I was like, wow, she's this like extremely strong woman, and she has she has tremendous strength and just overall good person and stuff. And so I was looking up to her as I was going through, like, Goddess Toning program, going through that 12-week transformation. So then for her to shoot me this message today, it was just kind of like my mind was blown. I was like, really? Like, really? I'm really like doing this? So yeah. So it's really cool to be able to, help people in a variety of ways. And, for people who maybe feel like stuck, or that they're struggling, with where they're at with their strength, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be somebody who needs to like lose weight, but maybe like you've hit a plateau with your, with your strength training, and you've just been hitting hard and hard and hard. And then like all of a sudden, coming across, little old me, I guess, apparently, can have an impact, a positive impact. So I don't know. It's just cool. It's cool to see that, because I wasn't expecting it at all,
Yeah, those kind of things come out of nowhere, because,
yeah.
People are going to watch this for years. And, like I said with Greg, that day that him and Nate and Christopher Walker did their little guide to intermittent fasting, I mean, they had no idea that they were going to help save my life. I mean, because I've really just done that. I didn't join anything at Kino Body. I mean, I bought the program, but I already knew the program. I mean, all I watched was him and Brandon Carter, and there's a few guys that I really liked and followed, but that one was probably the most, was that intermittent fasting one, because that was the first time I felt like there was hope, because my whole journey of this was like, how am I ever going to lose weight? Because all I ever want to do is eat. Like, this sucks. Like, all I want to do is eat, and I just didn't know. I didn't know how to get out of that circle. I got up in the morning and, ate breakfast, and it started, and, and forget it. I mean, if I get up and have a 700 calorie breakfast, I might as well just go back to sleep and give up, because there's no way I'm going to make it for the next 12 hours. Because I just totally set my ghrelin in motion for the whole day, and all that breakfast stuff is always carbohydrate. It's always muffins and bagels and biscuits and it's always cereal. It's always some grain-based garbage.
The empty calories right there.
Empty calories, and all it does is just make you want to eat. And now it's like lunchtime, and you're already blown past your daily calories, and it's 1 o'clock, and now dinner comes, and you're hungry, and then you want chips afterward. It's like it just starts that whole thing. So the intermittent fasting was like almost like this first ray of hope that I had for me being able to do this. It was like, oh, whoa, wait a second, this is crazy. Like, once I did it for a while, I was like not really hungry till like lunchtime. I'm like, this is great, and then it's like, all right, I'll stop eating at 7 or something and brush my teeth and do these little hacks, and oh, this is great too, this works, and oh my God, I love crunchy salty, I'll go get some pop chips like he does. Oh, this is great. And it's like the scale just kept going. I had about 20 runs to Goodwill, returning, giving them clothes away, because I burned through 18 inches of pants. I mean, you can't make this up. 50-inch waist at 53 years old. You don't have to be a scientist or a doctor to know that you're on your way out. Something bad's going to happen. Your body cannot absorb that much adipose and all that inflammation without something breaking, especially when you're as miserable as I was and pissed off anyway. So it was like the perfect storm. So
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I love you guys. You guys have really inspired me, and I'm so excited about lifting weights, and I can't wait till I get started so I can talk to you guys and tell you what I'm doing, and then you guys can go, hey, try this or try that. So, because
Absolutely.
I love being a student, you know, I just love learning, and I just think it's cool, and I think that we all learn from each other. So, all
Yeah.
right, so all you people out there, so you go below us. You better subscribe to this YouTube channel. You better like this video. You better say something nice. And then if you go in the description, has all of my stuff, my Facebook and all my stuff. Join, say hey. And then under that has Beth's stuff. It's got her YouTube and her Facebook. So you need to go on her YouTube. You need to subscribe it. Send her a little message saying, I saw you with Lugo, man. You're cool, baby. When are you going to get rid of that husband? Take on me. I got 2 teeth in front. and join her Facebook, and you know, and let's all get involved, man. And you know, we can all help each other, man.
That's the thing that, that's the beauty of like technology right now, is that we're able to like all kind of like come together. I mean, I'm having people from the Kino Body group actually like reach out to me, and it's not just the women, it's actually men, and they're like inspired by like my transformation story. They're inspired by like your transformation story, and they themselves have their own transformation story, and so there's this like networking going on, and it's just like an awesome thing to have, because it goes to show that like that people are wanting that connection and support, to continue to keep going. It kind of goes back to what we talked about a few weeks ago on your show, James, and that's like not isolating yourself, like, so if you're new to something like strength training, for sure reach out to somebody who has already kind of started to go through the process and understand the ups and downs to it. And it's not just with strength training, but with losing weight as well. People who are losing weight, they need a ton of support, a ton of support. So being able to have that connection is crucial, So
Well, good words, man. Well, I'm grateful that you guys did this, and yeah, let's just keep it going, man.
And having kids is not an excuse to not work out.
Oh man, you know it. I mean, just look at us.
It's funny, like, because the kids see Tito and I work out, I mean, it's not like we just go to the gym and drop them off in the play area. They get to see us like work out at home. They get to see us work out outdoors. And was it this weekend? Their friends came downstairs, and all of a sudden Julian's being the trainer, and then they're having a push-up session. I'm just like, what? This is happening? Like, I should have like,
my kids are doing this. My kids are doing the same thing. I have like a little CrossFit box outside my house with dumbbells and squat racks and kettlebells, and then I've got a heavy bag, and I've got mitts to do kickboxing, and mats and stability balls and both. I got it all, jump ropes, and the kids come out there. I bought them a little pair of gloves for boxing, and they just love it. And now they're in karate, so it's good stuff. Yeah. All right, y'all, man. I got to get these rugrats to bed, man.
Yeah. You're an hour later than us.
No, it's 9:18. You're.
Oh wait, you're in Central time
zone?
I'm
in Central. You guys are what? Okay. Chicago?
Yeah, we're Central.
I'm Nashville. So all right, guys.
Yes.
But again, listen, everybody, subscribe to the YouTube, like the video, say something good, and go down below to the description. And Beth's stuff is there. Get a part of her thing. Check her out. Valkyrie Training, her Facebook, her YouTube, and shoot her a message. Tell her she's cool. Tell her husband's cool, and let's just keep rolling with this. You know what's amazing? Look at my jaw. I started growing this little weird. I cut all my hair. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
You want to
Yeah,
see?
you
You want to?
started to get the scruff.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of weird because the lady's like, you need sideburns. I'm like, okay. So I said, well, I'm just gonna let it grow for a little bit and then I'll chop it up. But check this out. Oh man, you want to talk about unbelievable transformation? Look at this. Let me see if I got it here. Here it is.
There's so many
So
amazing
guys, look at this.
transformations.
Look at this jaw. You see that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Who is
Wow.
that pumpkin?
Crazy.
Look at that picture. Look at my face. Look at that. That's the there's the before, and then here's the after, the studly jaw, man. Look at that. That's the same dude. I'm older in the skinny picture than here. Look at that. That's me traveling in Europe at almost 300 pounds with, I had just had arthroscopic surgery on my left knee, on my right knee. I had a heel spur in my right heel that felt like every time I stepped, somebody was hitting me with a railroad spike. And I had bursitis from my hip to my shin down the left side of my body. I was a hobbling gnome. My face, I mean, it was just like, I mean, this is incredible. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Great, man.
miracles
Yeah.
happen, man. Miracles do happen.
I can't believe 100 pounds gone for you, James. That's amazing.
How far are you away from 80 now, Beth?
You know, I've been bouncing. I've been bouncing between like 147 and 150 for the past couple of weeks. So I kind of feel like I'm in maintenance mode right now. But yeah, to hit the 80.
What did,
to hit
what
the
did you
80 pound
start
loss,
at?
I need
What
to
did you
be at
start at?
145. About 145, I think I need to be at to hit the 80.
So what were you, 225?
Yeah, I was sitting at 225. I mean, my heaviest was when I was pregnant with Azriel, and I was 41 weeks pregnant, and I was 200 and what was it, 200 and
40, I think.
no, it was 260 pounds. I was 260 pounds,
I keep
41
telling
weeks
you,
pregnant.
you should have started then. You could go on a keto body like 3 days later and be like, I lost 45 pounds in the last 3 days. Outdo that. I dropped the baby out about 9 pounds of fluid, but other than that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I was fortunate that I didn't have like any health problems. I don't know how that was possible, you know, and then to go through 31 hours of labor, you know, and pop out almost 10-pound baby, you know, and then I lost all the pregnancy weight, and then I got pregnant again. So, and I gained some of it back.
Tito's over there handling his business, man. He's got you one after another.
People ask us all the time, so when are you going to have a girl? And I just like, I'm like, that's really kind of up to this guy, not in my control.
It's the Latin in us. I mean, you know, my wife's older, I'm older, you know, none of her friends, and nobody can have kids. They're all trying. Me, I just look at her and she gets pregnant. It was him. This is Jake. That's Jake the snake. What did Daddy go from what to what?
Fat to fit.
I went from fat to fit. I got him programmed. He's an athlete. He's a little athlete right there. This guy can run. Fat to fit.
That is my brother named Riker.
Hey, no fighting. Take it easy. And then here's Riker.
Lipstick.
So there's the crew, guys.
It was him.
All right, enough blaming.
Oh, you guys would have fun with our
Riker,
kids.
stop it. You heard me. Adios, mios. All right, listen, I gotta go, man. If these kids don't go to sleep soon, it's going to be a lot of things going on in the morning.
For sure.
you eating Doritos and getting the fat.
Oh yeah. Stop it, Riker. All right, you guys. Narvaez's.
Thanks for having us on the show.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you,
Just
James,
hang
once
on one
again.
second. I'm going to stop the transmission and we'll say goodbye. Y'all, James Lugo Show, jameslugomusic.com, whatever. We got ValkyrieMusic.com or Valkyrie Music. ValkyrieTraining.com. Google it. I don't know how to spell it. Later.